Yay, it worked this time. Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Soul Rock Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order. We're continuing with Section 4 here on Twitch and YouTube. Going by section by section by section for the YouTube audience. So make sure you click subscribe so you know when the next episode comes out. Without further ado, though, we're going to Section 4 at the Golden City. Let's see if I can get this timing down perfectly. No, I did not get it down perfectly. Damn it. I thought I had it, but I did not. I hate that I have to keep doing this. It has to be something. There's got to be something I can think of to get this taken care of. Resume from start. Section 4 at the Golden City. It's so hot. The heat really kicked in back into high gear as soon as we crossed that river. I want to go back and play with Protea. Oh, you're going back to the first Underworld Marine? I'm sorry to hear that. Payu, you meanie. Of course I'm not going back. I'm still one of Soul's bodyguards, you know. I wasn't being serious, I just wanted to vent. But it'd be nice if you let me stay under your wing for a bit. Under my wing? Ah, I see, because the shade will help keep you cool, yes? It's nice to see Tepeyu and Marine get along so well. They're like father and son. Oh no, I probably shouldn't just jump right to the calling Tepeyu a father. We don't know how old he is. Father, that's the name for one of the two providers of genetic material for your species, right? I don't really see the merits of procreating to raise a genealogical successor. But if you're imagining the two as father and child, I agree that Tepeyu seems older than the rest of you. Let's see, if you convert his age to human years, I'd say he's around 90, give or take. That would mean he's more of a grandfather than a father. Oh gosh, I had no idea we've been asking so much of a senior citizen. Oh, don't worry, I'm quite alright. Dino bodies remain in perfect health up until they meet their end. More importantly, are you sure you don't mind leaving Protea behind? I still don't understand this summoning system very well, but wasn't there something else you could have done? Maybe, I don't know. Thank you, Protea. We could never have crossed the first underworld without your help. Most comfortable cruise I've ever been on. You're still so happy, even after the major huge mess along the way. What, that? That wasn't a mess. That was just another interaction with a primitive creature. It's like when you go to pet a dog and it ends up biting you. That kind of thing happens all the time, right? That's pretty clearly something that happened to Director Olga Marie, but I think silence might be golden here. Right, Senpai? Well, this is as far as I go. Thank you so much, everyone. You're staying here? Why don't you come with us? You're part of Chaldea too, right? I'm afraid she can't do that, young miss. Although the mask may no longer hold sway over her, King Protea is still unable to leave this boundary of the underworld. The only reason she was able to operate here without either the Stormborder nor Soul as her master was her having been made into the Stratum's guardian. He's right. I may have been summoned in the Stormborder, but I felt Mictlan before I could form a contract and magical energy connection to Master. I still have a large magical reactor, so I can at least move around on my own. But that weird bad guy, Kimazats, forced me to agree to become a guardian in exchange for power. He was using command spells. That little bastard. Do something, Father. Give her a way to leave this toxic work environment. I wish I could. I could remove the infected parts from her, but this matter reaches into her very spirit origin itself. To taking Protea out of this level of the underworld would require a complete reset. So what if we had her disappear, then summoned her again at the border? Perfectly viable until you consider the risks of resummoning. Remember, King Protea is a divine spirit. The odds of summoning her again are slim, and even if you succeeded, it may not be this same King Protea. Even when speaking of a single heroic spirit, it is impossible to see the same version again once they've disappeared. Lies! That is the fate of all servants, Lady Olga Marie. I hope you can understand. Why would everyone ever... Who had the idea for such a terrible system? Thank you for getting sad on my behalf, but it isn't all bad. I may have been turned into an altar and made into a cocotinal, but at least I can say I materialized here in the first level of the underworld, even without a master. So I'll wait here in case you all come back, and if you do, Then I'll flail around so hard no enemy will ever be able to touch us. I'll always be your servant, Soul, no matter what happens. Aw, Protea. I'm sure we can figure out something once we reach the border. I see. I do feel bad about having to leave her behind, but if you say so, I'll take your word for it. It's so nice for you to worry about Protea, even though you didn't talk to her much, Tepeu. Did she take your breath away, too? I don't blame you. Her horns were really cool. No, not exactly. I only feel that aquatic animals are, well, difficult. Most dinos live on land. Only a scant few live in water, or take to the air. Terrestrial dinos like me have a hard time sympathizing with their unique way of seeing the world. But I still feel bad about our society isolating such dinos just because they're a different size or shape. By the way, Mash, have you been able to contact the border? No, our last communication was about 48 hours ago. They said their comms equipment had broken down. I see, so you don't have any information about their status right now. Perhaps then you should be more concerned about them than a single servant. I'm aware of Chaldea's staff consists of seasoned veterans at this point, but this is still Mictlan. It is a Lostbelt and exists in direct opposition to proper human history. And of course, humans aren't nearly as durable as servants. Were I you, I might just not wait for something to happen to them. Of course, we know that. Excellent. As to your next step, I suggest you prepare for combat. To combat the horde of carnivorous insects approaching us from above. How ironic that the dinos are herbivores and the insects here are carnivores. But of course, the worst part about these insects is all the diseases they carry. Very true, those winged insects can penetrate a dino's hide and pump any number of toxins into their blood. These toxins don't damage the cells directly, but they do still send unbearable pain signals to the brain. So painful that the toxin is that many dinos choose to take their lives to simply end their suffering. In fact, this condition is the 6th most common cause of death among our kind. So even the weakest of creatures have means of devouring the strong, Hahaha. Just what I would expect from the jungle. Survival of the fittest clearly has nothing on this place. That's so funny. Do you want to get hit with pain so bad it makes you want to end it all? Please, Soul. Please get those bugs out of here. Sure. Please set one of the following as your starting member. Mash, Olga Marie. I'm going to use my Mash. Sorry, you Olga Marie, but honestly, with the numbers you've been putting out, it's just not enough. And then we will go with the classic Melt. And we'll go Cass. Both of them were used in the most recent battle, so I think it is fair to be able to summon them here and now. Delicious H2O. Alright. BAQ. Okay, and I think another... We'll do an ABQ this time. Mix things up a little bit. So Melt has NP ready. Not that she needs it yet. I may have been better served at summoning summoning Lip at this point. Considering the vast numbers, an AoE NP might have been more beneficial. But we're doing fine. Oh, I didn't see the poison there. I did not realize she was poisoned. Let's go beep bop boop. Little overkill, but there's no kill quite like it. Ooh, got some good neck pops in there. Good hits. And we got that one, good. So there should be 2 left. 6,000 HP damage every turn because of this poison. Well, now it's down to 3. Let's heal just a little bit. Get a bit of health back in there. And then BAQ. This should get rid of that poison for a brief period of time. Gout fever. Gout. You can inflict gout. These insects are truly monsters. Okay. Final battle. Or fatal battle. Okay. Hello, anomalous variants. You're something, aren't you? Well, it's a good thing I have Melt here to melt them away. And let's get some more stars here. Because MASH has become a battery as well, which is just astonishingly awesome. I'm gonna have to try this match against the bitchiest bitch who's ever bitched. See how much more consistently I can get the one hit. Because honestly, this MASH has always had trouble because of the lack of defenses of base MASH. But with the Star Gen, that might give her enough extra oomph to penetrate through the bitchiest bitch who's ever bitched and win. Okay, that wasn't that bad. In fact, I would hazard to say that was easy. It's night again. Where are all these stars coming from if we are underground? I'm sorry, guys. I'm so useless. What are you still stewing about earlier, Marine? Come on, let it go. We're in a strange new land. It's impossible to see through the foliage, and it's super hot, and those things could fly. I don't blame you at all for not noticing them. Even Mash's Originax didn't detect them until they were right on top of us. It's true. I'm sorry. I still don't know why I didn't register those insects as a threat. It's not your fault, Mash. Have a lookout. It's my job to catch things your gizmo misses. Don't beat yourself up, Marine. You've been plenty of help. I have. Okay, then. I'll keep doing my best. Maybe one day I'll be a real jungle treasure hunter. That's all well and good, Marine, but why don't we take a little break first? It's hot. It's not safe to cross the jungle by night. There's the Koama, the great serpents who move too quickly for us to notice, the Kipaklin, large alligators who blend into their surroundings until they're within biting range, those carnivorous insects, and the minus dinos lurking around. We'll be much safer staying in one place and resting until the sun returns. Once it has, we can resume our journey. Okay, then I'll take the night watch. No, that's okay, Marine. I found a frequency that bugs don't like in the last battle, and I set up a bounded field to repel insects. That should be enough. The Orchanac should alert us if anything else hostile gets close. I think we can all sleep soundly tonight. Oh great, then I can break up my sleeping bag. I love curling up in it. We are just breaking this Marine's poor spirit. Repelling insects with a frequency of sound they dislike. What a clever idea. So this is how proper human histories humans compensate for what they lack themselves. It's also a textbook example of why maybe you shouldn't always fill every void you find. Take nuclear fission, for example. Sure, it provides plenty of energy, but it also produces some seriously harmful waste. Really, when you think about it, the whole course of human technology development makes no sense. Any species with 2 brain cells rubbed together would figure out a way to deal with that kind of waste before experimenting with nuclear fission. But proper human histories humans are focused on getting the absolute most potent thing they can at the expense of all else. There's an expression someone coined that really sums it up. You can be too smart for your own good. Anyway, my point is, you shouldn't be too quick to praise proper human history, Tapeo. Still, if they ever get around a real clean energy revolution by finding a stable way to achieve nuclear fusion, then I'll be willing to accept them as an honorary space humanoid life forms. Honorary space humanoid life forms, what are they? A humanity worthy of my rule, or to put it another way, humanity 100 years from now. Can I ask you something, Olga Marie? There's something I've been wondering about for a very, very long time now. Why President of Earth? Oh, I'm not asking what the position means, I'm asking why you want it. Oh, come on, Mash, why would you even need to ask something so Why do you want to be Prez, UO? Are you mocking me? Fine, I guess presidents do need to hold their occasional press conference. Oh man, I came here from an empty planet when I heard this planet crying out for help. I came here to help, so I have no intention of claiming the planet as if it were my own personal property. And that's why I don't have any plans to declare myself king or become one like Camazotz did. I see my role on this planet as being about raising it and guiding its intelligent life. I want its government to be fair, and its history to be just, and to create a world where all kinds of people and opinions are treated with respect and acceptance. A president supervises her people, represents their interests, and celebrates their successes. That's the sort of leader I want to be, I think. I still can't remember my specific plans or my exact reasons, but anyway, that's what I think ruling is about. And that's why I have to wipe everything away and start your foolish species over from scratch. Director? Why do you keep calling me that? As if what happened at the palace wasn't weird enough. How many times are you guys going to... No, wait, the first time we met was at that cave, right? Where did I get palace from? Never mind. Since your memory is obviously so terrible, I'll make it real simple for you. I've come to this planet to rid it of evil and put it back on the right path. I'm a great leader here to guide humankind out of its own foolishness. That is you, Olga Marie. Does that answer your question? It does, but if we're so foolish, you think there are other better choices of intelligent life to help out in the vastness of space? Idiot. When did I say being foolish was a bad thing? Besides, humanity is far from the only foolish species out there. Heck, intelligent life forms are basically foolish by nature, right? The universe wouldn't be what it is if we didn't make mistakes. Fair, I think. I see some logic in that statement. It's all well and good to say this from my high horse. But when is my body going to work like it's supposed to again? My humanity output organs are down to only 4% capacity, and my primary data processing facilities have completely crashed. I can't even be a decent secretary like this, let alone president. What exactly am I, anyway? Oh, did the Holy Sword Beam maybe do this to her somehow? Did the Holy Sword Beam hit a factory reset? Perhaps. I still am of the opinion it would have been better to have an actual sword, but, you know, that's just my opinion. We're in the third stratum. So, first stratum, second stratum, third stratum. We passed right by the city. At the Golden City, I think we are passing up the Golden City. Hey, Jakester, welcome to the stream. How be things? Nope, too slow. Yeah, for some reason, FGO is... I don't know why. I have to fully exit out of FGO in order to get it to boot up again. I haven't tested to see if it does that with any mission I take part in, but it's annoying, to say the least. I wonder if they did something in a recent update or something that changed it. I don't know. I got around it once, but haven't been able to do it again. So it's just been a constant restart, start back up, restart, start back up. Yeah, hobby things, Jakester, hobby things. It's whenever I launch a mission, it just completely black screens FGO as far as my capture software goes. I have to reset FGO in order for it to work again. These planes are massive. Wow, I had no idea there were places like this in Mictlan. I thought it would all be steep mountains and dense foliage everywhere we went. Still too hot and too much sunlight, but the breeze feels so nice. Come on, let's hurry. The storm border should be somewhere in the jungle past these plains. This isn't good. I'm afraid I have some unfortunate news, and a suggestion I'd lie. Oh, never mind. Too late. You had best prepare for imminent combat. To pay you? Not even trying to sneak across the plains anymore, huh, Oklema? Well, you'll get no mercy from us. You thought we'd be fooled by you bringing along a mindless dinos? You thought wrong. The king of dinosaurs has decreed that any who try to cross the plains should be attacked on sight, dinos or not. You oxalotl bastards are in a world of pain now. Hey, it's more dinos! By the way, Jakester, how far have you made it? Out of curiosity. Don't tell me the section number. Just, tell me how far. Bring Mash. We'll bring Melt. We'll bring Cass, since these two I summoned for the noble battle against... Then I will not say the noble battle against who it is against. Unless you already know everything that happens. Yeah, well, it's a fairly early thing, and it hurt to see, but so I'm gonna let you experience it. Oh, what the frick, man! Break bars, invincibility, organism wave, 9. Nine invincibilities. There are some cutscenes that are worth seeing, I'd say. I'd say there are some cutscenes that are worth seeing, so. Yeah, you totally need damage cut there, dude. And, okay. Sure, game. Sure. Bring out more, why don't ya? It's better to skip it, then you get a refresher reading it, than reading it twice because you'll forget. That is fair. It really does. It actually is a very good point because it is unknown when the second part will come out. Or is it known? Dinos Smash. Sometime next month. Such a large amount of time. I hope it is relatively early next month. Like, maybe January 1st or so. That'd be nice. January 1st would be nice, I think. I so love that Lord Camelot is back. It brings a smile onto my face. Bye, Cass. Okay, that was not a battle we needed to win. I was getting worried. Mid-January, that's so long. But I want it now. I don't care how, I want it now. That's weird. These Aklima seem tougher than usual, and they're using weapons I've never seen before, too. Let me at him. I want to fight him. I will fight him real good. Fight, 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 fight. There's no end to him. We can't handle all this alone. Come on, Yuo. What are you doing? Help us out here. I'm sorry, but I can't deal with dinos any more than 2 of them, and I get all itchy. Everyone fall back. See? Part of the yawn. See? How is that helpful here? How the heck are we going to get past that? Indeed, it could be quite the conundrum. Dino soldiers have been stationed at equidistant points all across the plains. They must be keeping watch for Aklima attempting to make their way here from the lower strata. We might be able to sneak past them in the jungle, but there's nowhere to hide out in those plains. There's no chance of them listening to us either. Dinos with jobs are quite stubborn. They take their duties very seriously and work tirelessly for hours on end. There is no point to trying to negotiate with them. If we're going to try to pass them, pain is all we should expect. Isn't there anything we can do? Of course there is. I recommend we return to the road and make a detour at Chichen Itza. If these dinos are guarding the way on behalf of the King of Dinosaurs, then we'll simply have to receive authorization to pass from the King himself. I see, and I take it we'll find Chichen Itza at those ruins we saw in the distance earlier this morning. Correct. Chichen Itza is a holy land dedicated to protecting the sun. It is the one place in Mictlan where dinos live and gather together. It's also where we'll find the being we call a god. Kukulkan, the teachings of the sun. Kukulkan. 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 I gotta get used to saying these weird pronunciations. Just because they are so odd. Also, the graphic fidelity is kind of falling off the more zoomed in we get. We're so gonna head all the way down there, aren't we? That's gonna be so trippy. Alright, Section 4, Arrow 3. No battles this time. Is it going to still crash me if there's no battles? I don't know if I've experienced that one yet. Okay, so it's the battles. It's something with the fights that is screwing things up. That's weird. So many dinosaurs. I don't know the names of all of them. I recognize the Triceratops back there, but that was kind of it. Welcome to the City of Dinos, everyone. It was built by expanding and renovating the remains of an ancient city. So you may find the buildings and various facilities a bit large for your tastes, I'm afraid. A bit? You call this a bit? This is at least twice as big as anything humans would build. This may as well be a city of giants to a short fairy like me. Hell, I'm barely a meter tall even when I'm floating. I can't even climb these stairs. Guess this means I'll just have to go back to the the Ortonax for now. I was really looking forward to my first time sightseeing in a Lostbelt, too. Don't worry, Habitat. You can always ride on my shoulder if you want. Or I could carry you. Okay, this is just too freaking weird. What the hell did you do, Rasputin? Oh, okay, we're disguised. We are disguised as dinosaurs. I was wondering what was going on there. He's a raptor. I'm glad you liked my disguise spell. The incident in the plains made it abundantly clear that we weren't going to get far in the Dino City looking like humans. Though it is not in my particular area of expertise, I attempted a bit of mage... that is, a sacrament. To disguise Soul Mash and myself as dinos. Again, Kotomene is so prominent. Now that I've played a little bit of the original VN, I'm seeing so many references back to Kotomene. Don't worry, it is merely an illusion. Think of it as a kind of augmented reality. It was a big help, Father Kotomene. We wouldn't have been able to enter Chichen Itza so easily otherwise. It's a good thing we have him here helping us, isn't it, Senpai? I'm glad you like it, but please stick to human language if you don't mind. Besides, the other dinos won't think anything of it, even if they overhear us speaking our language. It's too bad you, Olga, and Marine couldn't join. Yes, it is, but you, Olga Marie said. Disguise myself as a lizard? Of course not. No, I'm going to camp out here at my embassy. You'll stay here too, right, Butler? I'm afraid I can't, young miss. I'm too interested in Chichen Itza to pass up the chance. I hope a nice souvenir will be enough to earn your forgiveness. Would you prefer something edible or something decorative? Wait, now you're deciding what you do. Are you sure you're my butler? I'll be taken along in my spirit form, so I won't need a disguise. Oh man, I can't wait. We didn't have any jungles back in the land of fairies, you know. I can't wait to see what kind of fairies they have in there. It looks like you'll be the only one staying here, you oh. I do think you'd be fine even without a disguise, but oh well. Really? Then I'll stay behind too. I don't want to leave you all by yourself. Plus, she did mention she gets itchy around more than 2 dinos. That being said, our goal is to rendezvous with the Stormborder. All we need to do is get permission to pass. As long as we can do that, they shouldn't have to wait outside the city for too long. Yeah, I guess that's true. I probably shouldn't have treated this like a sightseeing trip. On another note, Chichen Itza, right? Way more dinos here than I expected. Do you know how many live here? It was about 2,000 dinos back when I was still living here. But it seems the Aklama's hunts have driven a great many dinos from all over Mictlan. I would guess there are about 2,400 dinos here now. Doesn't seem like a lot with only 400 more. Once the Cryptor came along, the Aklama built Mexico City. Many dinos have died at their hands. I'm sure some dinos are still hiding up in the jungle, but as a whole, dinos are now on the verge of extinction. In fact, it would be safe to say our extinction is assured at this point. For a time, the Aklama's primarily targeted females, so there wouldn't be any new generations. And even if a new generation were to be born, their future would be hopeless, given that Mictlan itself will be ending soon. You mean because we'll be cutting down your tree of emptiness? Ah yes, that's a possibility as well, isn't it? Please don't worry about us, Mash. You either, Soul. You need only worry about making the choices necessary for your survival. And all that should concern us is what we do with the time we have left. May I ask you 2 things, Tepeu? There's a structure on the main street over there that looks like a store. What is its purpose? If it is a business, does that mean the concept of currency has place in your lives? Oh yes, money. That's one of proper human history's inventions, isn't it? No, we don't have anything like that. That building simply displays many things dinos may need. If there is anything there, If you need anything there, it's free for the taking. The dinos there is only present for safety reasons. Dinos can vary greatly from individual to individual, you see. Something that may be a boon for one dino could be poisonous to another. So they have dino who understands those differences standing by to explain what each item does. Why don't you have any need for money? Probably because dinos lack almost nothing, and humans are constantly lacking almost everything. They can't get sufficient nutrients just from moving their bodies, they lack requisite internal resources to satisfy their minds. They always seek what is better, or simply to have more of something than their neighbors. That unending want is what drives humans to crave wealth, to find new and better ways of accumulating it. Excuse me. Money is the blood of human society, and it's built on the fact that every one of our lives is finite. The dinos, on the other hand, possess strong bodies and calm minds. They want for nothing. It would simply never occur to them to steal from each other. It's true, dinos have never gone to war with one another. We have no racial differences like you do in proper human history. Oh, I suppose there is our ritual... Cooked... Yeah, I don't even have a single idea how to pronounce that word. Xoktapayolistli. Pronounce. That is not even a word. That is not even a word, game. What did you... They have the ritual competition, but that's a very peaceful thing. It's essentially what the priests would call prayer. We give thanks to the sun for its light and pray for it to stay. Pray for the sun to stay. Tapeo, I believe it's time for my second question. That building over there, the one which resembles the Mesoamerican pyramid, is that an altar where the king dwells? There are buildings like that in proper human history as well, but those buildings lack the aura on top of the altar, which seems to stretch up to the sky. It looks like some kind of jade crystal. Jade crystal, huh? Oh, interesting. So you have sun altars in proper human history, too. I suppose the desire to draw closer to the sun must exist across many cultures. Thank you for the 10 out of 10, by the way, Jakester. That altar is what makes Chichen Itza a holy land. It's where the sun both begins and ends. That is the solar sojourn. In proper human history, the sun is in outer space, and the earth revolves around it, yes? But there is no outer space in Mictlan. Our sun lives here with us. From what you've told me of proper human history, it seems our sun is a tiny artificial one. It begins its journey here at Chichen Itza, travels all the way to the 9th stratum, and then makes its way back. That altar is the sun's house. It gives the sun a place to stay, gives it strength, and sends it back on its way. That is how the sun works here in Mictlan. Does that answer your question? I see. I've been wondering how the sun manages to float up there in the sky. Since Mictlan's gravity affects its outer edges or sides, depending on your perspective. But it seems the sun is an independent relic of sorts, quite separate from the laws governing Mictlan. I believe it is, yes, but permit me to make a correction. Those pillars you see reaching up to the sky are not ore, but a plant. The resin is what gives them that shining appearance. That altar at the very top of our space tree that runs through all of Mictlan. Does that answer your questions? Good. Then let us go to the altar now. I've heard the King of Dinosaurs is a temperamental dinos, but I'm sure they will understand if we just explain our situation. It's good to hear, but will we really be able to get an audience with this king so easily? Oh yes, as a matter of fact, I was once one of Chichen Itza's priests. I left before the King of Dinosaurs appeared, so I've never met them myself. But I still have my record of accomplishments, or rather my connections, to vouch for me. Besides, we have no concept of things like territory or national borders. Anyone is free to go wherever they would like in Mictlan, just like the sun. Interesting. Tapeu, what are you doing here? Go choke on a corn cob. Damn it, who let a heretical thinker like you all the way into the holy solar sojourn chamber in the first place? And who are those young dinos there with you? Did you come here just to show off how clever your prize pupils are? Bastard. They aren't my pupils, they're my teachers. I've been learning a great deal from them. At any rate, I'm glad to see you're on good health, Priest Vukub. We'd like an audience with the King of Dinosaurs. Would you mind letting us through? Would I? Of course I'd mind. The king is very busy dealing with the Aklama right now. You wouldn't know this since you're so blissfully retired to the jungle, but the Aklama are vicious creatures called humans. The king understood this was an existential threat to the dino, so he closed off the plains and vowed to fight. Chichen Itza has no place for a gutless coward like you. Leave, now. I'm afraid you're mistaken, Vakub. I still have a home here. I made it myself. That's not what I mean, damn it. Soldiers? Soldiers to me. Get this ingrid out of my sight. Immediately. Don't let him anywhere near the King of Dinosaurs' chambers. So much for those connections. See? Are you actually kind of clueless? Pay if you'll forgive me for saying so. You don't seem to be on the best of terms with that Vakub fellow. It's true, Vakub despises me. To him, I'm little more than a spoiled corn. He even sent assassins after me a number of times. I had no idea he'd been promoted all the way to head priest. Pity I forgot to congratulate him. So if the head priest hates you that much, then... Looks like we're not going to get an audience with the King of Dinosaurs anytime soon. At least not through the front door. That Vakub guy seems mashing soul now, so we can't go and ask for an audience on our own either. They'll turn us away just for being friends of Tepeu. Ouch. Well, there's nothing more we can do about that now. We'll have to change tactics. Since Tepeu's connections turned out to not help, we'll just have to find another way. I say we look for someone else here in Chichen Itza who'd be willing to help us and meet with the King of Dinosaurs via a different route. Information gather time. I agree this isn't a problem we'll be able to resolve overnight. In which case, we'll need a place where we can relax and think. Tepeu, is there any shared lodging facility for visitors to Chichen Itza? Why don't we use my old house? It should still be standing. It's off the main road quite a ways, so we should be able to discuss proper human history without being overheard. Oh, and let's have you and Marine come with us too. Of course, none of you are dinos, so it would be best if we stay together as much as possible. I don't know, I think I'm pretty good at blending in, or at least not being noticed. Alright, final arrow of Section 4 at the Golden City. Form your party immediately before the battle begins. It's going to crash me, right? Yep. Blacked out. So it is only the battles. Interesting. I have no idea why the battles are doing this. Is it something exclusive to LB7, or is it otherwise? I'm going to have to do some experimenting later, off stream. Which means that this arrow is probably going to be the last arrow we do tonight. But we're going to resume tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until we're done. Hey guys, congrats on the hard day's work. I managed to get into the city without any trouble, just by sticking close to UO. That's because the other dinos thought you were one of my accessories, so be careful, because that won't work if you get too far away from me. Anyway, thanks for coming to get us. Sounds like we've got yet another problem on our plates. So you were refused an audience to the King of Dinos, huh? I get it. I'm not in the habit of seeing unscheduled visitors, either. We've only got one choice, then. I'll just have to destroy the altar. Doesn't matter how high and mighty they are, once they don't have a place to live, they'll have to come outside. We needn't escalate matters quite so dramatically, young miss. In fact, doing so could cause serious diplomatic issues. Our only problem at present is that Tepeu's reputation proved lacking. We have other options still available to us. Right, tonight we'll discuss what to do at Tepeu's house, then in the morning we'll go into town and gather information. I see. Alright, if you guys are okay with that, then I am too. Okay, Tepeu, show us the way to your house. I'll hear more of what you've got to say once we're there. Yes, I think that would be the best. I'll need to tidy the place up since I've been away for quite some time. But I dare say you won't find anywhere else quite like it in all of Chichen Itza. I'm quite proud of it. It may be a little bit big for your taste, but I can promise you you'll all get at least a very good night's sleep. Good night's sleep. How long? It's been reclaimed by the jungle. That's hilarious. Well, I'm sorry about this. As you can see, we'd sprout up just about anywhere. I'd like to think those of us lucky enough to own gardens in either proper human history or this Lostbelt share similar struggles. I trust I can count on your help with weeding and pest control. Yeah, I guess. Mash. Cass. Melt. Let's roll. Autobots roll out.
Support system 40% カット。
Pardon the on. Lancers all around us. Lancers everywhere. Hit the thing with the most health. BAQ. Just keep coming, they just keep coming. They don't stop coming until they don't stop coming. Focus you down. Got a crit off, which is nice. Where's the yawn? I don't know why I've got the yawns all of a sudden. It's only about 9 o'clock in the evening. I shouldn't be tired yet. Ooh, nice crit there, you Olga. Nice crit. We'll do a Brave Chain. I think that's fine. Come on, you Olga. You gotta hit harder than that. EAQ. There we go. Good, good, good. The boss. That. Good group of an attack boost. Get some crit stars. And do a BAQ. Good hit. Good show, good show. Alright. BAQ again. That's close. Had that Buster crit, we probably would have cleared this. Shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Hey, we cleared it anyways. Yay, burn! Mash called me your senpai again. That's always nice to hear. Wow, that was a really good job cleaning. Caldea really does impressive work. I can't believe it. My dilapidated old house looks absolutely pristine. I think you may be giving us a little too much credit, but I do feel satisfied with our job here. But Senpai and I really can't take all the credit. Cleaning's totally my thing. I can even make an oil-splattered engine room shine like a mirror. And kitchen cleanup is one of my greatest talents as well. Cleanliness leads to leaving prudently. It's true, we could never have finished this quickly without you two. Always knew you were a hard worker, Marine. Well, I can't possibly thank you enough. I wanted to try cleaning every corner of this place before, but there's only so far these arms can reach. So I'm afraid my cleaning sweeps here have always been somewhat lackluster, since Chichen-Itza is quite literally built on the back of ancient ruins. Most diners don't mind since they're nature lovers to begin with, but dirt and dust accumulating in corners has always irked me. I even thought about moving into a less civilized environment just so I wouldn't have to worry about keeping it clean. Is that why you were living in that cave so far away from the city? Oh no, I had other reasons for that. I primarily wanted to get away from the nature-loving dinos. But never mind that now. I was hoping you and Sol could tell me more about proper human history. I believe you said there was a city called Chichen Itza in your world, too. Yes? What was it like? What sort of civilization did it belong to? Well, I'm far from the expert on the subject, but I'd be glad to tell you what I know. In proper human history, Chichen Itza was a Mayan city located on the Yucatan Peninsula of modern-day Mexico. The Maya civilization lasted from around 2000 BC to AD 1697. The era from 2000 BC to AD 250 is known as the Preclassic period. From AD 250 to AD 900 is known as the Classical period. And finally, the period from AD 900 to the late 17th century is the Post-Classic period. Each of these periods is said to have experienced their own decline and subsequent rise to posterity. As for Chichen Itza, it was built by the Itza people, mined for water sources in the post-classic period. The Itza are thought to either be outsiders to the Mayan civilization or descendants of Mayans who managed to escape the fall of their central hub. But whatever they came from, when they arrived in the peninsula with its abundance of natural wells, or cenotes, they named it Chichen Itza, or the mouth of the well of the water sorcerers. The Itza people also used to worship the god of wind and water they called Kukulkan. This same god is known as Quetzalcoatl in Aztec mythology, which came later. Quetz. Weird. I thought she was a sun goddess, not a wind goddess. Kukulkan. So they existed in proper human history as well. Yes, of course they did. And yet, proper human history's Mayan civilization still fell, even when they had their god protecting them. Well, yes. When the Mayan civilization declined, the gods disappeared as well, and all of Latin America entered its age of humanity. The Mayan civilization is thought to have been created by the Mayan people, but in truth, it was the creation of many different tribes and hamlets. Their descendants broke into several different ethnicities, like the Tzotzil and the Quiche. The name Maya is now believed to have come many years later from the city-state of Mayapan. During the Classic period, Mayan civilization was composed of around 60 to 70 states. Even after their civilization's first collapse, the Mayans went on to create numerous cultures and histories during the post-Classic period. They are even said to have been physically stronger and more mentally advanced than the average person at the time. City-states like Copan, Tikal, Calakmul, and Palenque flourished thanks to a prolonged period of continuous competition and cooperation. These cultures had advanced written language and astronomical practices, and built incredible structures like the Pirámide de la Danta, a pyramid in the Mayan city of El Mirador. By using the observatory El Caracol, which meticulously tracked the stars' movements, they created 2 calendars and efficiently managed the lives of their people. Although the Mayans never had a single unifying dynasty, the kings of their various city-states did forge alliances. Still, technological progress isn't a matter of manpower alone. It's also greatly affected by their environment, the kind of crops they can grow or the ore they can mine, and the climate they live in. The harsh climate of Mesoamerica helped to form a vibrant mythology. It also made the Mayan people very strong, but prevented them from making much progress when it came to hand tools like weapons. After the center of culture gradually shifted from the Yucatan Peninsula to the central Mexican plateau, the same thing happened with the Aztec civilization, which flourished in the post-classic period. Their arms consisted primarily of wooden weapons like spears, bows, and macana, swords made of wood, with shards of obsidian embedded in their edges. They never developed guns, nor did they have mounted cavalry, so there's a strong argument to be made that the people of Mesoamerica lagged behind the European nations in matters of warfare. And then the successor to Mayan civilization, the flourishing Aztec kingdom, collapsed in the mid-16th century. It did not collapse because of strife with bordering kingdoms. They were overrun by foreign conquerors who came from across the sea. From across the sea? What do you mean? They were led by a Spanish conquistador named Hernan Cortés. He landed on the shores of Central America with only a few trusted companions and eventually conquered the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan. The Aztec king at the time, Montezuma II, died in the ensuing upheaval, and in the end, Hernan Cortés and his fellow conquistadors destroyed the Aztecs. From then on, the Aztec lands became Spanish territory, dubbed Nueva España, meaning New Spain, which would later become Mexico. I've heard that. Less than 500 Spaniards destroyed an Aztec kingdom of tens of thousands of people. I remember an Aztec legend that went something like, though the good god Quetzalcoatl may have vanquished man had vanished after being defeated by the evil god Tezcat. One day he will return from the northeastern lands and restore the Aztecs to their former glory. By that time, the Age of Gods had already ended, but that didn't stop people from believing. At the time, Quetzalcoatl was believed to have white skin and a black beard, so when Cortez appeared matching that description, Montezuma II believed him to be the second coming of Quetzalcoatl and welcomed him as a guest. There's definitely more to the story than that. Good and evil, creation and destruction, sun and darkness, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl. But the Mayan and Aztec people didn't believe the relationship between the two gods to be quite so simple. Right, I'll go into Tezcat and Quetzalcoatl's relationship more later. Cortez used the Aztec people's beliefs in the legend of Quetzalcoatl to his advantage. He won the Aztec Empire's hostile neighboring tribes to his side, and with their help conquered their capital, though he was outnumbered. Aztec Empire, didn't you say it was a kingdom earlier? Yes, I did. At this time, Central Mexican Plateau was home to many different city-states. In the case of the Aztecs, the two cities of Tlacopan and Texco had a sworn alliance and formed a powerful empire. They used their combined power to dominate the neighboring tribes. It's said that in the Aztec kingdom capital of Tenochtitlan, over 50 people were sacrificed to the rain god Tlaloc, the tribal god something every day. The Aztec people regularly waged war with their neighboring city-states, and used their overwhelming military forces to capture a great many people used as slaves and sacrifices. You can only imagine how much those neighbors must have hated them. Right, the Aztec Empire's success was built on the countless bodies and all the resentment that created. So Cortez wasn't solely responsible for their downfall. Bad blood had been building between the Aztecs and their neighbors for many years by then. When it came to warfare on flat land, the Spaniards' guns and cavalry gave them an overwhelming advantage. The Aztec Empire simply did not have anything similar to use. Neither guns nor horses were much help in that jungle, and the Aztecs had a tremendous advantage in terms of numbers. And that is why probably Cortez's smartest decision was not to wage war with the neighboring tribes, but instead to enlist them as allies against a common enemy in the Aztec Empire. He then spread rumors that he was the second coming of Quetzalcoatl instead of being treated as an invader. He openly paraded through Tenochtitlan's oak gates, took Montezuma II prisoner, and occupied the Aztec capital. In the end, the Aztec Empire was destroyed in the name of the Spaniards' greed and the neighboring tribes' fury. Though they arguably had the most powerful empire on Earth at the time, to say nothing of the flourishing capital, Tenochtitlan, it still collapsed from within, unable to even fight a proper war. If Montezuma II hadn't believed the legends of Quetzalcoatl's second coming, or if the Aztec Empire had been less receptive to outside cultures, the history of Mesoamerica may have gone very differently. Yeah, that's why Montezuma II was said to be the ruler who brought about the end of the Aztec Empire. He was blamed for the error of welcoming a foreign invader as an Aztec god, and in the end it was his own people, the people of Tenochtitlan, not the Spaniards, who killed him. The Spaniards actually let Emperor Montezuma go free, but then the nobles and the other people of Tenochtitlan stoned him to death. There are numerous theories as to why the Spaniards let him go, but the most prevalent says that they wished to avoid having been seen as committed regicide themselves. Anyway, that was a very abridged history. Proper human history is Mesoamerica, but it's all I can tell you. That was abridged, but that was so much more history than I've ever learned on the topic. I feel like I just studied. I hope it was helpful. Oh yes, certainly. Those guns you mentioned, that is the tools the Aklama use, yes? So there were conquerors from outside world, guns used to suppress the local tribes, massacres. That all sounds just like what has been happening in Mictlan as of late, which would make David the Cryptor our very own Herman Cortez. Oh, I'm not blaming you for that. It's... how can I put this? I'm simply struck by the similarities, is all. We have our golden city, Chichen Itza, and Kukulkan, the teachings of the sun, and proper human history had an altar city, also named Chichen Itza, and Kukulkan, who was god of wind and water. We also have our subterranean world named Mictlan, and you had your underworld also named Mictlan. And as I told you back at the cornfield, we never had a concept of such a thing as a god. We learned about that from David the Cryptor. Our teachings of the sun, Kukulkan, only came to be called a god because of what we learned from him. I feel as though this notion of God fits much better now. Not to say one is real and the other is false. I'm merely saying that, thanks to this new knowledge and perspectives, what had simply existed until now had been replaced with something wholly new. It's all very exciting, though there are some parts I still don't understand. I'd like to I think I'd like to learn more about these gods of proper human history next. Yes, that is Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl. It is rather late right now, though. Why don't we call it a night, and I'll show you to your beds. Let me ask you one thing first. Tepeu, you dinos clearly don't belong in Chichen Itza. If anything, your lifestyles here seem to be based on the people of the proper human history. Who built the city? The being you called the King of Dinosaurs? Oh no, the King of Dinosaurs only showed up quite recently, so he has nothing to do with Chichen Itza. No, it was Kukulkan who built Chichen Itza. In fact, it's said that Kukulkan, the sun god, built this city to oversee all of Mictlan. Who is this Kukulkan? Who is it indeed? We'll probably find out next time, because what we got a quartz, we got 2 solar hide, 2 pure prisms, and 2 hellfires of wisdom. And that is section 4. And that is where my vocal cords are kind of ready to give out. So I'm going to call this stream here. We will resume this tomorrow, Friday, December the 27th, at some undetermined time. Maybe earlier in the day, maybe later in the day, who knows? For now, though, I've been SolarActDragon. I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe so you can catch when the next part comes out. It will probably be coming out tomorrow for you there on YouTube, though, so just as a heads up. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming out. Hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.